The Unholy Death Knight is one of the burstiest classes in the game. You are actually gonna see some guilds stacking Unholy Death Knights on purpose to get through certain mechanics in the race to wall first, because that burst is so damn strong. But the Unholy Death Knight has a very unique playstyle, and the people that like Unholy do not wanna do anything else. Now for your talents, we're gonna be taking Plague Leech. It is gonna turn your dots into runes. You're gonna be popping them when your dots are about to run out on a target, and that way you can get 2 runes for free and you refresh them and you get the runes back. Okay, it's just more damage. You can go for Boiling Blood if you want for more AoE. It is a decent talent as well. Single target, it is gonna be Plague Leech, but this is not a big deal either way. Those are fine. After that, we're gonna be taking Anti-Magic Zone, a raid-wide magic damage reduction like the Dome from the Priest. It is one of the most broken defensive cooldowns in the game, and this is almost single-handedly what makes the Death Knight such a good class to stack. After that, we're gonna take Death's Advance. It is just a little more movement speed. Your mobility is quite lacking as a Death Knight. Sadly, there is nothing we can do about that. After that, we're gonna take Death Pact. It is just another way to heal yourself, a decent defensive cooldown. After that, we're gonna take Blood Tap. It is all these 3 talents are for rune generation, but Blood Tap is the one that gives you the most. And finally, we're gonna take Gorfin's Grasp. It is just going to stack all the mobs into a single place, kinda like the Boomkin one, so you can make it easier for your raid to AoE down the adds. It is pretty cool utility. Now your glyphs are gonna be, first of all, the glyph of Pestilence. It is gonna give it more radius so you can spread your diseases a little easier. More AoE is never bad. Then we are gonna take the glyph of Outbreak, and we are gonna take the glyph of Anti-Magic Shell, which is gonna turn it into a full magic shield. Now if you're a DPSer, most of the damage you do take is gonna be magic, because that's the AoE of the boss going out and whatnot. So having a magic resistance cooldown is very valuable. Your stat priority is rather simple. You're gonna take Strength. After that, we're gonna go take our hit cap and our expertise cap of 7.5%. After that, we're gonna take Crit, and after that, we're gonna take Mastery. Now, why is Mastery not as good? Your Mastery makes a lot of sense. It is more shadow damage, and most of your damage is shadow damage. And as you can see, the base increase is 20%, which is pretty bonkers. The problem is simply that it doesn't scale very well, so I expect if they are gonna do class changes later on in later patches, the first thing they are gonna probably do is buff the Mastery. Keep that in mind if you're watching this on the future. But as is right now, Crit is gonna be better than Mastery, and after that, of course, is gonna be Haste. Haste is not very good. We're gonna reforge away every single time. Your rotation got simpler than the Cataclysm rotation, and that's great because Unholy was kind of annoying in Cataclysm. Not anymore. First of all, you gotta put your diseases on the target, and as you guys know, Unholy Death Knights can put Frost Fever and Blood Fever, Blood Plague, whatever, with a single Plague Strike. So that is only 1 Plague Strike and you're done. After that, I am gonna put a Wikora on the Discord that's gonna tell you when you should pop this, but when you got 5 stacks of Shadow Infusion, you are gonna do Dark Transformation. As you guys know, the Unholy Death Knight is a pet class. We got a permanent ghoul, and we can turn him into like a super ghoul that does more damage. So of course, whenever we got all the stacks, we are gonna turn it into a super ghoul, and it is gonna do a lot more damage. If you are an insane tryhard, you can actually sync it up with your cooldowns. That's what you should do anyway. After that, we are gonna burn every single rune we got into Scourge Strike. It is super overpowered. It has no cooldown. We are gonna spam this thing 24/7 until we can't. Okay, that's when you shouldn't do it, when you can't. After that, we are gonna do Death Coil whenever we don't have any runes and we can spend all our runic power. And if you are out of runes and runic power, you can do Festering Strike instead, because that's blood and frost runes. If you are completely out of runes, you got 2 different cooldowns now to get runes: Blood Tap and Plague Leech. Remember, you can consume your diseases to get a couple runes, and then just a single Plague Strike is gonna put them back on. So it is pretty easy to do. It doesn't really cost you much, just like a global worth of dots. If the boss is under 35%, we are gonna do Soul Reaper. That's our new execute. It actually does a ton of damage, which is weapon damage. We got a big 2-hander, and on top of that, it does shadow damage. And that means, of course, that our Mastery is gonna benefit from that. If you are cleaving, the only difference is we're gonna use Pestilence to spread out all the diseases away, and we are gonna replace Festering Strike with Blood Boil, but that's pretty much it. Now, if you're doing true AoE, I heavily recommend you swap talents. In any fight that has real AoE, you really should change talents. Blood Boil is gonna spread diseases with this talent, and that would be actually quite a good boost to damage. You know, you save up on the Pestilence, and that's actually way more, especially burst damage, right? Because your AoE is rather clunky as any Death Knight spec, and being able to save one global to make your AoE faster, that's actually a big increase in your real damage output in a fight. Like any other Death Knight in MoP, your AoE is your #1 weakness, but for your true AoE, of course, we're gonna do Plague Strike, and then we're gonna use Blood Boil if we have the talent to spread the diseases. Otherwise, we're gonna do Pestilence. After that, we're gonna do Death and Decay. After that, we're gonna be spamming Blood Boil until we can't. After that, we're gonna do Icy Touch whenever we can to get some more blood runes so we can do more blood boils. After that is gonna come Death Coil as a filler, and after that, if we do not have any runic power, we can do Scorch Strike instead, because we are gonna have Unholy runes to spare in this rotation. Now, Dark Transformation, which is a very strong mini cooldown, of course, it is not a very straightforward thing to do in AoE. Of course, you wanna pop it whenever you can, but if you're fighting, let's say, more than 5 targets, just put it as a filler. I would put it like in the same tier as Icy Touch, but if you're fighting, let's say, between 3 and 5 targets, you wanna do Dark Transformation as soon as you can. Once again, I am talking about a very small optimization here. If you wanna pop it as soon as you can so you don't forget or you don't waste it, that's also fine, okay? Don't pay too much attention to it. Now, your cooldowns are a lot more straightforward. First of all, we got Summon Gargoyle. It summons a gargoyle and it does a lot of damage. And we got Unholy Frenzy. Both are 3-minute cooldowns. This is haste, and this is a pet that scales with haste. What's that mean? You wanna pop it up at the same time, okay? Just macro Gargoyle and Unholy Frenzy together. Pop them at every single time at the same time. That's pretty much it. And we got Army of the Dead, of course. We are gonna pre-cast it before the pull because the cast time is very long, and that's the best way to get value. Otherwise, or if the fight is longer than 10 minutes, God help your soul. In that case, we're gonna do it on Bloodlust. They scale with your haste as well, okay? So if you can sync up Army and Gargoyle and Unholy Frenzy, that's gonna give you a huge boom boom potential. Your meta gem is gonna be the Reverberating Primal Diamond for 3% boom boom. Your red gem is gonna be the Inscribed Vermilion Onyx for crit and strength. Your yellow gem and your best gem, if you got like a meta chromatic, whatever, the every color slot, we're gonna take a Smooth's Sun's Radiance for a whopping 320 crit. Your blue gem is gonna be the Piercing Wild Jade for crit and hit. And your food is gonna be black pepper ribs and shrimp for more strength. Your flask is gonna be the Flask of Winter's Bite for more strength. And your potion, and it is crucial that you do it on pre-pot, you wanna pop one of these Mogu Power Potions so you can get a ton of strength before the pull, so you can then open with your haste cooldown and your gargoyle, and that's gonna give you an insane amount of opener boom boom. And yes, pre-potting is still a thing in MoP, it didn't change, the pre-pull changes do not affect potions, do not forget. Lots of people asking me in the comments all the time, I feel like I gotta say it in every video. Overall, all the clunkiness from the Unholy Death Knight is almost pretty much gone, it is a lot smoother to play now, and it will be one of the best single target melee DPSers. Of course, they bring the anti-magic zone, and that will make them very valuable. The only thing holding the Death Knight back, honestly, it is not their AoE, it is the fact that most likely your tank is gonna be a Death Knight. If you're in 25 man, it is not a problem. If you are in 10 man, it is kinda hard to fit a DPSer Death Knight. You can, okay, you definitely can. It is more of a problem that the Blood Death Knight is so stinking popular. I feel I am a little more partial to Frost Death Knight, but both specs got their own merits, both specs are pretty good. It is more of a matter of what you like best. Do you like color green or are you team blue? That's pretty much it. We are gonna do a guide on every single spec, so stay tuned for that. Join the Discord for the weak auras and macros on every single class, including a rotation helper. The Unholy rotation helper is not ready yet. I don't know when it's gonna be ready, but it will be up there whenever it is. The guy that makes it said he's working on some bugs or something, I don't know. Check out our Twitch for the GDKP Benediction Alliance Streamer Bonanza. Jerome got a bunch of streamers together in Benediction. We're gonna just farm gold, I guess. It is crazy how many people he got together for that. You're gonna know a little more about that like next week. And subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.